Minutes in. I'm just gonna go ahead and get it started, and that way we don't eat into your time, Nate, and we'll just cover our housekeeping items here. So, all right. So once again, thank you everybody for joining us today for our partner-led virtual session for the ConnectWise partners for all the different user groups. So thank you for taking time out of your day. And let's go ahead and get this party started. So these are partner-led virtual events. Okay, everything that we do is in collaboration with other partners. So what I'm saying with this is if you have any thoughts, ideas that you would like to see in here, just let us know. We will reach out to people around the industry from ConnectWise, people like Nate, and we'll make sure that we can coordinate all those events for you guys so we can learn more, especially from each other. So make those suggestions. Take a look at all the names that are in here right now. Go through the people on the list. See if anybody that you know, anybody you might not know, anybody who makes a comment. Make sure that you make those connections. So look for those people over on LinkedIn. Look for me on LinkedIn if you have not connected. I would love to have that connection. And that way, again, if you have any comments or any suggestions, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy because I'm really passionate about this community and for all of us to always get together and again learn from each other. So as part of our agenda for these sessions, today we're going to be talking about maximizing your MSP's website leads generation. We have Nate here. And then next week, we have our open mic session. Remember, open mic is for everybody just to come in, ask questions. We usually try to keep it around the same topic. So Gio, he helps with the ConnectWise partner program, and they have some marketing tools in there. He'll help us facilitate that conversation again, just to keep that going. Next month, we're going to have our monthly webinar. And I forgot to put in here who's going to be presenting. It's actually a partnership with Roost. So if you're looking at some options for automation or some tools for automation, Roost is pretty known for that. So we reach out to them. It was a connection actually through some of these partnerships from a different ConnectWise partner, and bring him in to present that. So that'll be next month. Usually in July we don't have an open mic, but every now and then something comes up and we just slide one in there. So keep your eyes open. Usually I send these notifications by the end of the month, beginning of the month, right? So the end of June, beginning of July, we might have an open mic if something comes up. And then in August, our monthly webinar will be presented by Nodeware. Remember, we're also showcasing a lot of the Pitch It winners, and Nodeware was one of them, was one of the finalists, and they're going to be presenting in August, and then we'll have the open mic the following week. If you want to stay up to date, make sure that you join the Slack channel. I will really like to see a lot of activity on that Slack channel. These are all partners that are in there. So if at any time, if you have any questions, just put the question in there and somebody will reply to that. But this is another way that I share all the different updates, and the other facilitators share some of their updates, either for the upcoming sessions or for events that are happening within the community. That's a good place to stay up to date. So we have some regional user groups coming up. There's our personal, for your group in-person meetups. So we have one coming up for the Denver group, and that will be on August 14, and registration is open. So you can go to the ConnectWise University, and that is open for registration. And then It's for the Chicago group for the Central Mafia. It will be September 25th. So we're putting the final topics on the agenda. We just had a meeting about that, and registration will be open soon. So once we finalize that, that will be out there, and we're going back to Burr Ridge. So we're going back to the suburbs, and that will be again on September 25th, and that will be a Wednesday. And remember that when you attend, there's always a chance to win a free pass to the next event. In this case, will be IT Nation Connect, and that will be in November of this year. So we have a good communication. We partnership with CompTIA, and I met with Jen last week, and she asked me, it's like, hey, would you please share this information with the community? So if you are not a CompTIA member and you will like the membership, you can take advantage of this partnership between actually CompTIA and ConnectWise and get a free membership. So there's a great opportunity. You can scan the QR code, or there's this promo code that you can use when you sign up. So if you have already a user but you don't have the membership, log in first, and then you can use this promo code and then get that free membership, and then take advantage of all the different programs that they have there available for you. We're always interested in hearing from you, especially for the meetups. So when we have these user groups, we really want to hear the experience from the partner. Okay, we work with ConnectWise for a lot of the content, but we always want to hear the partner side of it. So please raise your hand if you're interested in participating. It is really not that hard. It's a great way to get exposure out there, to get people to reach out to you, create those connections. And then it's always in partnership with the ConnectWise team, so you can leverage their knowledge, but we're going to use your experience. So I will be sending a lot of messages out there because we really want the next user group to be more partner involved on those topics. And if you're interested in presenting on any of these in a virtual way, just let me know, and we're always happy to accommodate you. So before we get started, let's make sure that we make this interactive. So you can use the chat if you would like to ask a question. You can also come off mute and ask any question if you wish. But let's make sure that we have this and we take advantage of the time. Make sure that we don't leave here without any questions unanswered. So before I pass it over to Nate, I'm very excited. I'm really excited about this topic when we talk about marketing. And a few years ago, when we were doing the ConnectWise regional, they asked me like what topic I wanted to have, and I was like, let's do marketing. Seems like I feel like marketing, we always forget about marketing. We have all these different tools, like the ticketing, and we have now automation and projects and all that, but we always forget about marketing. And it's everything starts with marketing, right? How we get all those leads, all that lead generation, how we get those new clients, and how do we propose or reach out to those existing clients with all the new things that we add to our stack, or all the different approach that we might have. So with us, we have Nate Freeman from Tech Pro Marketing and MSP Sites. He's been doing marketing or focusing on this since 2017, I believe I saw on your LinkedIn profile, and specifically focusing on MSP. So he has that relationship with MSPs, trying to help them with specifically with marketing, giving MSP companies a one-to-one interaction, providing all of his expertise. And today he's going to talk about how we maximize your website's lead generation and all of these different strategies. So without further ado, Nate, take it over, man.
Thank you so much, Juan. Super happy to be here. And that was fun. In your slides, saw a bunch of people I knew. So glad to see Matt and Jenny from Cyberstreams kind of featured in some of those videos.
Oh, yeah. There they are.
Yeah. There's another Juan I know right there as well. And it's an awesome community that you guys have. I think it's particularly within ConnectWise. Um, so what I've got, my relationship with Cyberstreams and Matt, who is part of this group, been working with them for actually about 5 years. And like you mentioned, Juan, I started about 7 years ago. I shifted my digital marketing agency specifically to focus on MSPs and help you guys generate leads. I remember when I first started, I reached out to a gentleman named Nigel Moore, and he is runs a company called the Tech Tribe. And I was like, "Hey, Nigel, like, yeah, I want to like help MSPs like generate leads to their website." And his response was like, "Why? That will never work. This is the hardest thing ever." And like, it was really funny that he said it. He was like, "But yeah, I've been on a mission since then. I'm going to share a little bit about that." So I'm going to get in my screen share right now, and let me know when you guys can see this. We've got a lot of content, so let's get this up. And is that visible for everybody right now?
Yep, I can see it.
And I think maximizing your website lead generation is a great place to start. There's so many different ways that MSPs can generate leads. Like you were saying, like one-to-one outreach with cold email, LinkedIn networking. You've got SEO, you've got Google Ads working really well for a lot of MSPs right now. But in every case, everything is going to come back to your website and is a really important piece to any MSP marketing campaign. It's almost a centerpiece of any MSP marketing campaign. But like Nigel told me, yeah, MSPs generating leads is incredibly hard. It might feel overwhelming. It might seem daunting. So in today's session, I'm taking you through some of the first steps that we do with our clients at Tech Pro Marketing, which really to get their website up to speed, not just in terms of like look and feel, but actually getting to the point where it's going to be able to generate leads for them. If anyone here, if you guys kind of can take away one of my points and implement just one thing, I think that will constitute a great success for today's session. And I believe there's a lot of things you're going to learn today that are like small tweaks, might take you 10 minutes to implement on your website, that you actually can generate a few more leads through the rest of this year directly from that. So that's my goal for you guys today. And I want to start by framing things a little bit and just ask you, and if you want to put it in the chat, if we've got some brave people, if they want to come off mic, like, you tell me, how are you guys feeling right now about your current website? What is your confidence level? How would you describe your current feeling about it?
So for me, I'm right now kind of redoing a bunch just because
Yeah.
I felt it was just all it was just seemed to be informational, just the standard bullshit about, we're MSP, these are the things that we offer, just boilerplate stuff. So now the front page is more of a call to action, I guess, to now I ask and say, where are you in your journey? Do you even have are you currently outsourcing, or are you looking for like co-managed, or you're already outsourcing and looking for other options, right? And then directing them in like a journey to information related to what they're searching for. And that's my approach right now. But I don't have it completed yet.
But I think you're where a lot of MSPs are. Where you were a few months ago, maybe, is where a lot of more MSPs are, where it's like, hey, this is like, I don't know what I'm doing with my website. I don't know like what the purpose of everything is. And a lot of the points that you just touched on in terms of having a strong call to action and leading the journey, leading their experience to your website is so, so important. Um, you guys can interrupt me at any time. And I'm glad we've got people that are ready to pop off mic and ask questions, because I can literally talk about this all day. And there's so much more that I've got in the slide deck. So feel free to just pop off. I can even share other examples, things like that, if you have specific questions. My next question for you guys is a little bit more of a, you know, uh, rhetorical one. I think we all want to be confident in our website. We all want to know, like, all right, my website does this. I know exactly why I did it. I know exactly how I did it. And that's the goal for today, is to kind of start bridging that gap for you guys. Juan mentioned, my name's Nate. I work with MSPs who want to generate more leads. This is my website. It's techpromarketing.com. I am super confident in my website right now. I've thought through every detail and I understand the journey, and I can even share some of the things that I did with my own website you guys might be able to apply certain elements. More recently, the beginning of this year, I launched a new brand. It's called MSP Sites. And MSP Sites is a website as a service, what we call it in the marketing space, where basically you pay monthly for a website that helps you generate leads. And what I did is, like Juan mentioned, I've been doing MSP since 2017, been working on their websites. I currently have over 110 MSP websites under our management at Tech Pro Marketing. We decided to do a study. We decided to go through all the Google Analytics. We decided to go through um, everything that we had done with heat mapping, everything that we had done with tracking all the conversions, the quality of the conversions, where they were coming from. And we boiled it down to a report that we're going to be releasing later this year. I can send anyone the early version of the report if you guys want. Just send me a note in the chat or just put that in the chat. I'll send you the report. But what I came up with was basically I realized what was working really well. And we put that into something that now MSPs are able to go ahead and sign up and get one of these great websites and get it up and running right away. It comes out a little bit boilerplate, but it's boilerplate and it's working. And then if you take some of these steps that I'm going to teach you through today, you can really customize it and make it amazing. There's a lot more inside MSP Sites. You guys can explore that or ask me questions about it later about some of the ways that you can actually generate leads through some of like the back end stuff. But for today, I want to talk a little bit about my journey and where I came up with this. And when I started, one of my first clients was a really amazing entrepreneur in the MSP space. And I came on early on as like a consultant, and we did a new website for this company. They were called Roca Security. They were like a cybersecurity company. They're still around, but they only do government contracts now. And they were really ahead of the game on some of the CMMC work. So this was back in like maybe 2016. We had started working on some of their CMMC website stuff. And one of the first things we did was we redesigned their website. And I had come from a design and development background, and we really created a amazing first class website for that time. Like the branding was spot on. Everything looked so professional. Everything looked so beautiful. And we launched it. We were all really excited. But then a few weeks later, the owner of this company came back to me. He's like, Nate, we're so happy with the website. Everyone on the team loves it. The customers think it's so cool. But just like one question, when are we going to start generating leads? And that kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, okay, I think I know what we need to do here is MSPs, they don't need just a website. You guys need a website that is actually going to do something to push people forward, to get them to contact you and actually generate leads. Over the past 7-8 years since I've been doing that, yeah, this is everything I've been working on. That study, so many other things. Really lucky to have guys like Matt Cordell, who we saw earlier, be an early adopter for a lot of my stuff, letting us test out things that work. And in the long run, they've seen a lot of benefits from it. But we've learned so much along the way. And at the end of all this, I came up with something I call the MSP growth model. And this is really what I believe MSPs need in order to generate a lot of leads, do really well with their marketing. And it's based on 3 pillars. You've got your inbound marketing, which is things like SEO and Google Ads. You know, when people are typing in things like IT support near me, managed services provider near me, IT support Toronto, all these types of keywords, you need to be seen. You need to be at the top of the list, right? And that's what inbound marketing is all about. Then there is the element of outbound lead generation. And I think in the MSP space, this is very popular. People know a lot about it. This is putting together a list of your ideal customers and reaching out to them. We can definitely talk more about these 2 things later on because I've got some ideas that I think can really help you guys in terms of outbound lead generation and inbound marketing. But today we're really going to be focusing on this online presence, right? This is your brand. This is your social media marketing. This is your email newsletter, things like that. But the real thing it's all about your website. Everything you do with your marketing is going to drive them back to one place, and that is going to be your website. We've got a lot to cover today. We're going to be going really fast. I'm going to try to leave some time for questions, but I want you guys to interrupt me as well. Also, Matt asked me to be here. Juan asked me to be here. There's no pitch. There's nothing to buy or anything like that. I am going to give you an opportunity later on. If you want to schedule a one-on-one call with me or Mike from my team, I'll show you guys how you can do that to get some one-on-one feedback. And the last thing is this is recorded. We know Juan's recording it for sure because he put that on the slide. So we're not going to miss out on anything. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about really the 3 critical shifts that you need to make in order to have successful website lead generation. I talk to a lot of MSPs. Marketing is actually a pretty hot niche, and we get a lot of leads. There's a lot of MSPs that reach out to us, and it's one of the main differences between running a marketing agency and running an MSP is the volume of the leads. But we talk to MSPs every day, and these are some of the things that we're hearing. They come to us and they're saying, "Hey, you know what? My website's not performing. I need a new website." We dig a little deeper, and we find out that there's more to it. It's not just that I don't have a website, it's that I don't have a way of generating leads. When we really dig deeper, this is the truth, you guys. If we can't find a way to generate leads, can't find a way to grow our MSP. And a lot of the MSPs I talk to, yeah, growing, right? Eventually getting acquired. This is really important. And this happened to one of our clients, Robert. You guys are active in the MSP community. Maybe you know Robert. He runs an awesome MSP. And he's been doing it for a long time. He's got a lot of great clients that really love him. But when he came to us a few years ago to start helping with his marketing, um, he wasn't generating leads outside of referrals. And he was getting kind of frustrated because he was paying a lot of money. He had spent a lot of money on a new website, but it wasn't generating leads. And he could see that his competitors in his local market in North Carolina, they were a little bit leaving him in the dust. So a lot of the things that we did with Robert, we're going to share today, and we'll kind of come back and see Robert at the very end. So with Robert, we were able to take his website from this like brochure website and really turn it into, for him, it really turned into a lead generation machine. So another rhetorical question for you guys. I know the answer is yes. You're on this call, you're committed to the ConnectWise user group, but you know this is all about website lead generation. And yeah, let's do it. Let's turn our websites into a lead generation machine. So here are these 3 shifts. Shift number 1 is going to be from online brochure to your best appointment setter. And that's exactly what we heard. So I couldn't see on my screen who had come off mute, but I think this is exactly what you said, right? Your old website had a lot of great information on it, but it wasn't actually doing anything to generate leads. And that's some of the things that you're working on. And one of the things that we found out in our study when we reviewed these 110 websites was that actually the bounce rate, the amount of time that most people stay on your website is only 40 seconds, right? And this really confirmed with me that when someone lands on your website, you need to give them the information they need right away. Put yourself in the shoes of like an office manager or an operations director at a local company, and they know that they're coming up on contract for their IT support company, and they're looking for a new MSP. And they type something into Google like IT support near me. A lot of us, we don't have that much time when we're doing our buying research, right? We want to get that information right away. We're not going to read every single page on a website. So what we found is that it's so important to give you all the information right there, as much as you can at the top of the website. I think there's, we've heard of something called like minimalist design. And minimalist design is when you use a lot of white space, when you have few words and just little imagery. And this is like example of like Apple is a really great company that uses minimalist design and it works so well for them. I think for MSPs, the minimalist design is not going to work for you, right? What we need to do is we need to have a website that gives people the exact information they need as soon as they land on the site. And we want to basically get everything covered right within this top of the fold, this top of the website page, which I call the website hero area. This is one of our clients in Minnesota. They're called BlueNet. And these guys have done an awesome job with their website. I'm just going to describe a few things within the hero area that I think work really, really well for them. And is one of the reasons why they're generating a lot of leads. So number 1 is you need to think about it that when people land on your website, number 1, it's like, okay, I'm looking for a local IT support company. So let's make sure that we really right away, we talk about that they're local and we show their location, right? They know that they're looking for an IT support provider. So let's be really clear that we do IT support, right? They know they need cybersecurity. Let's make sure that we mention cybersecurity. Maybe they call it managed IT services. Let's make sure that we have that, right? What if they want to call right away? Let's make sure that we have their phone number at the very top, and let's use a local phone number to show that, hey, we're local with you, right? And then we're going a little deeper. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. Let's have some photos of their real team here instead of some random stock photo, right? A stock photo model might look better, but guys, we're computer people. We're computer support people. We're not male models, okay? We're not a fashion brand. This is not Patagonia. This is IT support. We can look like ourselves. People are going to appreciate that. They want good professional IT people. They're not looking for the most beautiful group of employees ever. Although, look, I'm sure a lot of your companies have really beautiful and handsome people that you can display on this site. Another thing here is, yeah, let's put your UVPs in. Let's say right away, what are these 4 major things that you want to work with us? Why should you work with us compared to other people? And if you've read all this and you're ready to get started, let's do it, right? There's other things on this site. We've got Google reviews, which is social proof. And there's a few other things I'll explore throughout this presentation, but let's make sure that we use our hero area, our above the fold, that top of the homepage, where the first thing that most people are going to see. Let's maximize this, okay? We're going to leave minimalist design to brands like Apple, who that works for them. For an IT company, we need to provide a lot of great information from the very beginning. Another thing, right? This was exactly what we heard earlier in the call. You need to decide how your prospects navigate your website. We happen to use Amazon Workspaces. We used to use this for a virtual desktop that we did as part of our program. And I think your menu like this, where you can kind of go and find the spot that you want to go on, this works for a lot of companies, right? If you're in the back of Microsoft Azure, sure, this type of menu is going to work really, really well. But this is a, control your own path type of menu. And for certain user experiences, for certain websites, you're going to want to have a mega menu like this. But I think for most MSPs, let's keep it really simple. And this is one of the websites inside MSP sites, is one of the templates you can choose from. And let's just take our main navigation menu, and instead of making it this big thing with all these different options that you can get lost in, let's control the path that they're going to go through. And I like to organize my menu in order from importance. So I think home, you're always going to need that. People need to get back to the home page. After that, I think the number one most important thing is testimonials, because the real reason why someone is going to want to work with you, not because of your Microsoft certifications or anything like that. It's really because you've got raving fans screaming from the top of their lungs how much they love working with you. And that's what's going to build the trust. So if you don't have a big page of testimonials and Google reviews and video interviews with your clients, I really recommend you guys do that as one of the first things after this. At least go out and collect one Google review. At least hop on a Teams meeting with one of your clients and say, hey, would you mind recording an interview with me for 5 minutes I can put on my website? These things go a long way. So testimonials, definitely really important. After that, right, we talked about that operations director who's looking for an IT provider. Let's give them a page. Hey, if you're looking for managed IT, go here and learn more about it. But sometimes people just want a project. And I'm not saying that you should work time and materials, that you should go and just do one-off projects, but people ask me sometimes, they're like, Nate, like, what's a good idea for a lead magnet, right? What's a good way to get in the door with somebody? I think a project is a great way. If someone says, hey, I don't want managed IT services, I just want help with this Office 365 migration, this Microsoft migration, I would say a great idea would be to help them with that migration, do an amazing job, blow their minds, and then at the end of it, they're going to come back to you and say, you know what? I know we mentioned we didn't want managed services, but I've been so impressed throughout this process that I would like to explore that with you, right? Or you could say, hey, we're going to help you with this project. The only thing I ask is that at the end of the project, you allow me to present about managed services with you, and I think these are great ways to do that. So I think showing people that you do projects is a great way of letting all your prospects enter your funnel instead of just the ones who are already solution aware about managed IT services. And your about page is really important. People want to know who they're working with. This is true, right? I think a lot of us have heard this phrase. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. So we need to have an about page that's not just, some random things that, share a little bit about managed IT services, but we want to show some of those people's faces. We want to show your story, not every detail about it, but the important pieces of your story, the important parts, how you came up with this concept of helping small businesses. And then, yeah, absolutely having a clear call to action in your menu that uses contrasting colors, right? So people can always see this on every page. Schedule a strategy call, schedule an IT consultation. Let's chat, let's talk. Whatever your call to action is, using a contrasting color and having that button stand out from the rest of the menu items. And this is how you're going to control the path that people are going through on your website. I think we heard earlier from one of the members here. I think you had a great way of doing it. That's a little bit more of an advanced tactic. I think if you're just starting out and you're no idea where to go, just go with something like this. Make your life pretty simple. Make everyone's life pretty simple here. And the last piece is, yeah, all you do need to do is start a conversation. So you've got all different types of calls to action throughout your website. And I've seen ones where it's like, yeah, do our 17-point IT audit. And guys, I don't know about you, but I don't know anybody who wants to get audited. I don't know about anybody who wants to go through a 17-point checklist. But a lot of the people that I know when we start a sales conversation, hey, can we chat for 10 minutes? Can I grab 15 minutes? Right. So with Frontier Solutions, guys are a great MSP in Alberta. Let's talk. Right. How do we talk? And then, right, here's Amy, our live agent website chat. Do you have any questions? All right, let's start this conversation. When you get to their let's talk page, you got a picture of Chantel. She's their president. She's super friendly. She's got a nice photo of herself, and people know who they're going to talk to. This makes it so much easier as opposed to, go through our 17-point audit, whatever other consultations you have. So I think sometimes the best call to action is the simplest call to action. Start a conversation. BlueNet, right? How can we help, right? Let's serve our clients, right? What can we do to help? Schedule an appointment. Let's accommodate a lot of the different types of ways that people want to approach your MSP. So if you apply all these things, yeah, you're going to be in the situation where now your website is stopping from being just like a brochure and it's getting into something that's actually going to, when people land on it, maybe you're going to schedule that meeting. Maybe they're going to engage with the chat. Maybe they're going to start filling out these forms. Maybe they'll call you if you make it really easy for them. And that's the question for you guys, right? You want your website to provide information? I'm so glad we mentioned that at the beginning of the call. Or do you want it to book sales meetings? And that's how it can book sales meetings. Did a lot of this stuff with Cyber Streams. They're a member of this group. Here's Dave. He's Matt's partner. And he's a lot of things we did, but a lot of things they did. They work really hard and they've invested so much into their marketing. But here he is. That's the pro surfer, Kelly Slater. Don't know how he ended up on a boat with him, but he did something cool to get there. And yeah, having a great website and generating a lot of leads, that's part of what gave them the freedom and is giving these guys so much success. So you've got great resources in your group, and Cyber Streams, those guys are one of them. So that was shift number one. We're going to go from online brochure to your best appointment setter. The next shift you're going to need to make is from catchy to clear. And I just want to be so straightforward with this one, you guys. Like MSPs, your value proposition is that we provide good support, that we respond quickly, and that we're professional. There's nothing about you that needs to be funny. There's nothing about you that needs to be cute. There's nothing about you that needs to be catchy. A lot of MSPs that I talk to, they approach their website like an insurance company. And, these guys to compete with each other, they're paying millions of dollars for Super Bowl commercials and everything here. Yeah. Liberty Mutual needs a llama or whatever that is, right? Aflac, they need a duck. Geico, they need a gecko to stand out. As an MSP, I really want you guys to be a different brand, which I really look up to, and it's called Ron Seal. This happened to me early on in my career. I had a mentor who was from the UK. And I, as an American, I think a lot of us, we've never heard of this brand Ron Seal, but we can understand what it is. It is a quick drying wood varnish. It's a stain, that you paint on your wood. And if you watch one of their commercials from the 80s, they're funny, but the commercial just says, this is Ron Seal. It's a quick drying wood varnish. You put it on your wood and then it dries quickly and then your wood is varnished. And it does exactly what it says on the tin. And as an MSP, I just think this idea, the Ron Seal principle of just doing what you say you're going to do, this is enough of a brand, right? So if you go back to some of those examples I showed you with BlueNet, it's like, leave IT to us. And I know you're going to say like, well, all my competitors, they all have a similar tagline. We do the computers, you do business, right? We handle your IT so you can focus on what's most important. This is a good tagline. This is a good basic thing. And it's not just that like they came up with the creative tagline. It's that this is the unique value proposition of an MSP. And a wood stains value proposition is that it stains your wood. And sometimes that's enough, and I want you guys to say, like, you don't need to go too far. You don't need to put on a llama suit. You don't need to get into Magnum PI or any of this stuff. They're funny, but you guys can have a lot more success if you just take the Ron Seal principle. We're just a good, solid MSP. What's special about us? We respond to our clients within 90 seconds. All right. What's special about us? We solve most issues within 3 hours. And there's so many ways you can show that without having to be cute, without having to be catchy. I did a little search online to find some website examples, and I found some that were kind of catchy. And this first one is cut through the complexity and shape your digital transformation. Sounds cool, right? But if that office manager, that operations director lands on your website, it's like, what? What does that even mean? I know what it means now after working with MSPs for 7 years, but a lot of people are not going to know what that means. But concentrate on your business, leave IT to us. That's something everybody understands. Information and technology solutions, regulated business specialists. I get it. They're trying to kind of talk about how they help with compliance, but a lot of your prospects, that's not what they're thinking. They're thinking, I need an outsourced IT department. So something like this, providing the completely outsourced IT support department for business in Calgary, that's clear. Might not be as catchy, but it's going to get the job done. So I want you guys to, the language on your website, especially in that homepage hero area, make it clear. Don't worry about being catchy. If you want to think about how you can do this, here's a basic website headline formula. You're going to do a high-level description, plus who you help, plus your net benefit, plus how you do it. If you're in Chicago right now, use this one. You've got it. Managed IT services for Chicago SMBs. Let our fully managed IT department make IT issues a thing of the past. Very clear. We know exactly who you help. We know exactly what you do. Welcome to Cyber Solutions, Inc. With our products and services tailored to your business and paired with our outstanding customer service, Cyber Solutions, Inc. can accommodate all your IT needs. Just don't even know what that means. I kind of got it at the end of that it has to do with IT, but let's be clear, not catchy. Next thing is show, don't tell, right? And there's nothing I hate more, or nothing, maybe a pet peeve of MSP websites, just websites in general, is when people say, top IT support company, best IT support company. It's like, according to you, how arrogant is that? And how untrustworthy is that? If you're the one saying how good you are, is anyone really going to believe you? I think what's much better way to do that is to really do a deep dive and think about, why are you the best? Because you guys all have these things that you really can point to. And I call these proof points. And the proof points, if you want to take a screen grab of this and then put these on a sheet of paper and then write these down for yourself, just break them down, right? Functional proof points. These are numbers. These are statistics that you can point to, right? Number of years of business, client size, workstations monitored, number of breaches thwarted, response time. I talked about that, right? Then you've got social proof. We talked about that a little bit, right? Do I have customer testimonials, right? You want to show that you're the best in town. Hey, we're the best St. Louis MSP. Well, I would imagine the best St. Louis MSP probably has like 200 or 300 5-star Google reviews. And if you're claiming you're the best, but you've got 3 5-star Google reviews, something not adding up here. So get some customer testimonials. If you've got some high profile clients, share them, right? If you've been featured and Juan said, hey, get involved here, right? Get featured in ConnectWise, get featured somewhere, put it on your website. If you go to the BlueNet website, they were recently featured. These guys are heavy into technology marketing toolkit as well. They got featured on the cover of MSP Success magazine. We put that right on the front of their website. So there's so many opportunities for this. Economic, this one's more challenging, but if you work hard, you can do it, right? Did you actually prove client savings? Did you actually get client revenue growth? There's a great consultant in the MSP space. His name's Andrew Moon. One of the things that he did was he actually helped his target market, which was law firms. He actually increased their billable hours through IT, and he was able to prove that. And if you're able to do that, there's not much more proof that you can get why they should work with you. Credentials, I mentioned, yeah, Microsoft certifications are not going to be the most important, but they're something. They're low-hanging fruit. What certifications do you have? If that's all you got, show it. And then community. I really love this one because what does it take to give back to your community some hours of your time? A lot of you guys want to be doing this anyway. And I think this is one of the most powerful types of proof points that you can show, right? Hey, we support these local charities. And here are some examples of them. Functional proof points. How many clients served? How many years in business? What's your crew who smile back rate that you have there? Social proof. Can I get a video testimonial of my client? Tech Pulse, Tyler from Tech Pulse, he's so brave. He reached out to all his clients, said, can you record something with me? They did it and they love him. And a lot of these clients, he had great results with them. They went from 0 to 180 users. What an amazing client and what amazing success that he played a part in. Economic, right? How many users, how much they've grown. This is powerful stuff. Credentials, right? Made to the Inc. 5000. I think that's an incredible thing to display on your website. Inc.'s going to charge you like $800 a year to put that on your website, but maybe it's worth it, right? Can you get into the channel E2E, CRN, Channel Futures, the MSP 501, and all these partnerships? These are good credentials, and they're at least a starting point for a lot of MSPs. And then the community that I mentioned here, right? One of our clients in Southern California, Southern Florida, they're definitely ConnectWise users. They're part of the Evolve Evolve group as well. They donate their time towards local nonprofit organizations, and they provide discounted IT support for them. If I'm a company in their area, I say, oh, you guys support Gumbo Limbo? I want to work with you because actually, personally, I do have something in my life where I actually support turtle conservation. So I love that. And actually, I keep donating to them because I know they did it. And then like our client, David Whitaker from DDS Solutions, how cool is this? He did this charity event recently. It's called Walk a Mile in Her Shoes, where it's against fighting domestic violence, violence against women. Who doesn't want to support an organization like that? And who doesn't want to support and work with an organization that supports organizations like this? So this is easy. All it took him was to, easier said than done, walk a mile in high heels, but he did it. He's got the photos. Put that in your blog. Show the organizations you support, especially if you feel like I have nothing to make my website different. This will make you different in the right way. Maybe this is a little bit catchy and cute, but it's cute in the right way. So that's the last point about it, is like being clear doesn't mean you can't be yourself. Just because you're being clear and not catchy doesn't mean you have to be boring. Viatech in Louisville, Colorado, they're like the chill group of dudes. And like they hang out, like they all wear sunglasses. And if you're in Louisville, Colorado, where being outdoors is a really important thing, and this is the type of people you want to work with, yeah, this is going to be really cool. They show all their people, and they've got great branding about making people the priority, right? They've got this intellectual property called People First IT. So this is the type of thing that I think is being yourself in the right way and not doing it in the, Aflac way. So I love what they're doing. We did something like this with Frank from Ferreira IT. He's spending more time doing all sorts of cool stuff. This guy runs a fantastic MSP as well. And yeah, when we first started with him, he was just starting out. His website was the starting point. And I'd love to see you guys, use your website as the launching point for your marketing. And it's another question of essence you guys need to ask yourself. Is your website going to be catchy? Do you want it to look cool? Do you want it to look different? Or do you just want it to generate leads? You can have it do both, but let's focus on the lead generation side. So that's shift number 2 from catchy to clear. I mentioned in the beginning that you guys can schedule a call if this is like inspiring you and you're like, you know what? I want Nate to look at my website. Mike from my team also can help you with this stuff. You can go to our website, schedule a one-on-one strategy call, mention that you are in this group. There's no strings attached. We want to help. Like, there's no sales pitch. If we can help and you want to learn more about our services, we'll do that. But if you just want to get some feedback from us, jam out with us for an hour, we're here to do that. So you go to techpromarketing.com/strategy call. And shift number 3, I'm going to try to get through this to leave a couple time for questions. You can't do this all your own, and you have to make time for it. So you got to be consistent. I see a lot of stuff in marketing like this, and I hate these guys. Oh, thank you, 23-year-old informational marketer who's giving business advice, and you're going to get me 10 sales calls a day. Thank you, random guy in the Philippines who can get me 120 appointments per month. The truth is, guys, you can't do it. This is all fake. This is not real. But being consistent is really a lesson I learned from my friend Tom Watson, who, when he was growing his MSP, he joined a local business group. It's like a photo of him as a younger man, and showed him up on the first day. And for the first year, he showed up in this local business group. It was something like BNI, something like Chamber of Commerce, but a little bit different. He didn't get any leads for the first year showing up every single week. But he didn't give up. What he did was the next year he joined a committee. And when he was in that committee, then he started getting to know more people, and he actually did get a few leads. He actually did close a couple of deals. The third year, he became the president of the organization. Every new member that came in, they met him, he talked to them, and then, the word got out about his business, and he became the go-to IT provider in his business community. So your website, your marketing, it's the same concept, right? You're not going to see results right away. You're not going to change your website all of a sudden, generate 120 appointments per month or 10 sales calls per day. But if you stick with it, if you use the Tom Watson principle, yeah, after a few years, you will be doing it. But you got to measure results. I think for a lot of MSPs, we get overwhelmed. It's like, oh, I need to be using Google Analytics. I need to be using conversion tracking, all these different metrics. I just think a basic lead dashboard like this is really important. Something that tells you how many chats, how many people chatted with my website agent, how many people called, and you got to get a recording of that call, and how many people filled out my form, right? This is a basic lead dashboard, and this is what you need. You don't need a complex Google Looker Studio or any of these other things that you've seen out there. Just some basic metrics. The last thing is, you got to build your all-star team, guys. You can't do it on your own. We've all learned this in business. Every single piece of our business. No, we have teams. We do this together. So whether you're working with an agency like we do, whether you are hiring an internal marketer, whether you are the internal marketer, whether you're saying, you know what, like Juan, I'm not the owner of the company, but I want to see it grow. Hey, can I take on this role of working on this for 5 hours a week? You need to set aside the time. You need to have a team to do it. So I think that you can either continue to try to do everything yourself or build an all-star team that's going to run a marketing engine. David Whitaker, he's not the owner. He's, I think, the marketing manager. Maybe he's the service desk manager. I'm not even sure. He loves it. He left us a Google review, and like the main thing he talked about, he didn't even talk about leads. He didn't even talk about website. He just talked about his team. And that's when I really learned. I was like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, having a team matters so, so much. And that's shift number 3 from when I have time to getting it done. It's our MSP growth model. We focus today on online presence. You got your website, you got your content, you've got your brand, but the website's really the centerpiece of it all. Robert recently left us a Google review. They added 28 new clients. I was so happy when I saw that. And I think even since that, he's got up to like 34. This guy keeps closing deals. They keep coming through his website. So you guys, whether you're a marketer, whether you're the business owner, wherever your role is in the department, I think all of our MSPs, it's our line in the sand moment. We can decide, right? We're gonna just, hey, you know what? My informational website, I'll get around to it. Or hey, you know what? Saw that I was in that session with Nate, and you know what? It's time. This is it. So use this as your line in the sand moment, and use this to kick your website off. If you want to schedule with us, you guys know how to do that. 7 minutes left. I'm gonna stop my share and just hang out. What questions do you guys have?
What
I
are your
always wait.
thoughts? What are your thoughts on giving away free resources, free downloads without um, capturing contact information?
I think it's fine. I think the truth is that um, I I mean, if you're giving away free information without contact information, I would just put it on the website. I guess they could download it, but I would probably want the SEO value of it by actually having fresh, better content on the site that's actually in the pages. But also this idea of a lead magnet of putting something on the website that's like, hey, download this and we'll, give us your email address and download this. That actually just doesn't work that well for MSPs. It's because this is a little bit of more of a transactional, a little bit more of a transactional buyer. It's less of an emotional sale. If you are going to do it, I recommend that you do something similar to what we've got on our website. I'll share again to show you it, because whenever I've done it where it's like resources, download these, like just nobody does it, you know? And what I did on my website is I'm leveraging this concept of social proof. So are you guys able to see my site right now?
Yeah.
Where my first button is start here, right? My call to action here is gain access now and start with our free MSP marketing class. So I'm actually telling people what to do. So when you talk about like driving that, giving them the direction, you choosing the path that they want to go down. I think if you are going to do a lead magnet, the key is to not make it this optional, like kind of forgotten thing that's on the bottom of the page, because then nobody's going to do it. But if it's like, hey, if you've come to our website, you have an IT problem, you need to start by downloading our 7 pillars of IT success. Start here and downloading it, then you'll get access to it. But here's the thing is that if people are downloading something, they're interested in you. So the way that we've got it, you click get access. Now you put in your information, but then you guys may have heard of something called a funnel. Okay. This is one area where I really recommend using a funnel. And I'm not talking about like going crazy with like funnels, but just something like this. They fill in that form. Then this is the next page you see. Masterclass access granted. You should receive access to your course, to your email within the next 10 minutes. Next, schedule a call with our team. So if you are going to do it, focus heavily on that thank you page. Make it something where your lead magnet is not like a random thing. It's not like, hey, there's this small piece of what we do, but have it be the core of what you do so that people that like need that. Use social proof of like telling them to do it. And then once they do it, push them to the next step, funnel them into your appointment process. This page for us converts at like 35%. Like 35% of people who sign up for our masterclass, they schedule an appointment right away. The rest of them, they get added to our email list, and then we work on scheduling them later on.
All right. Yeah, I've always been kind of more in the camp of just giving it away and not grabbing their information, because I know I think a lot of things about it in terms of how I want to be treated.
Yeah.
And when I see those kind of like, hey, yeah, I'm interested, I want to read this, but now you want like my email address and stuff. I'm like, I don't want a bunch of more junk email. Like if I'm interested, I'm going to reach out to you type of thing.
Yeah.
So my thought process was more like what I've been building in is like some pop-ups and different things that are part of that journey I'm taking them through the website
Yeah.
of, so you're looking for that new IT resource, right? Here's some questions, or maybe here's some things to ask that IT or whoever you're going to interview, right? Giving them valuable, not just like fluff bullshit, right? When I give them something that's more valuable and they see a value from it, and kind of the idea is maybe building some trust. Obviously, the stuff that they would download has our contact information on it. So it's there. And if they are interested and want to come back to us, that's their opportunity to do so. I hate putting my stuff in, and I generally will shy away
Yeah.
and don't even do it because I don't want to be bothered with a bunch of more junk email that I already get.
So really good points there. I think kind of two things is number one, I think when I was doing my screen share, you guys maybe didn't see the thank you page that I was describing. I just want to show that quickly. This is like the funnel page. The other thing is I agree with you, but I think the issue is that like for our sake, we've got like over 112 blog posts. We've got tons of amazing information on our site, but this masterclass, this is so good that you should pay for it. Like this should be, I could charge
Oh
$1,000.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
would
for
feel good.
sure.
So I think if you're going to do the lead magnet, yeah, don't do something that's like, oh gosh, I got to put my email in for this, but
Yeah,
something like, what? He's giving that away for free. Scott's doing that for free. Oh my gosh, yeah, I'll put my email address to get this for free, And I think if you want to see like what our landing page you actually do get into the masterclass, like, no, man, this is like. So I think the solution to what you're saying is, I would say for most things, keep it on the website. But if you are going to do a lead magnet, like make it insanely good, something
okay,
that really is worth paying for. And then you won't have that kind of like, kind of sleazy feel that I definitely see in a lot of websites and that you're feeling as well.
okay.
Yeah, I
So
have a quick question for you, if that's all right.
sure.
First and foremost, thank you so much for your time today. It will definitely prove to be beneficial. Where my question lies dabbles a little bit in, I guess you would put it in marketing more than anything. However, in your personal experience, I'm curious if you have any advice, maybe 2 to 3 points that have worked best for you, garnering more visibility to your website.
Um, Number one thing is Google Maps optimization. So I'll just do a quick screen share, and there's a tool called the Bright Local Search Checker, and this is a great tool that you should that everyone can use. It's free. You get like 10 searches a day, and what you can do here is like, let's say, for me, I live in Rhode Island, and I know IT support near me is one of the top keywords. I don't live in Providence, but I think a lot of the businesses, they'd actually be searching for, a lot of the businesses are in a town called Warwick. So I'm just going to like put that in. Because I know there's a lot of businesses around there. Think, okay, my ideal customer, they're in Warwick, they're typing IT support near me. Let me see what shows up on the end of the search result. I'm going to click the check search results. And I want to confirm you guys can still see my screen. This has happened to me before. I go really deep into something. If you're like, Nate, what are you talking about? You guys can see my screen, right, Juan?
Yep.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right. Then you're going to see the results here. And you can see that you've got Google Ads. But then next thing coming up right here is the maps. So if I'm going to try to get my maximum visibility from my website, I am going to maximize what people see in this section right here. So for example, it's like ITSG, what is that? Right? It probably is an MSP, but if that had said ITSG, business IT support firm, business IT support company, I would know exactly what it is. The 10 reviews, that's great. And then I can go to their website, right? Dante's Tech Hospital, Fast Techs. I can't believe they're even showing up on this. There's definitely better MSPs around there, but that haven't really optimized their results for that. They're, Google My Business Profile. So the number one thing I would say is make sure you've got your Google Business Profile registered and that you've done everything you can to optimize that for SEO and for conversions. I'll try to do another one from maybe a more competitive location, so you can kind of see what it might look like. All right, if I'm searching from like downtown Chicago, what does that look like? Right, you've got the ads, got Ntiva, and then, dude, love it, Skyview, my client, telling these guys, get more Google reviews because you're showing up on Google. Can you please get more Google reviews? Nobody's going to click it without any Google reviews. I might even do the IT guy solutions, maybe Loop Network. There's a lot of opportunities if you're in Chicago right now for local, and people are like, I'm ranked number one in Google. It's like, well, are you ranked number one in the maps? So I think for like first thing I would do, lowest hanging fruit, definitely maps.
Greatly appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Hi, Nate. Hi, Juan. I just want to say thank you very much. This has been a very helpful webinar, so thank you for putting this together. I have one
Yeah.
quick question for you. You mentioned you like to see testimonials on the website. What is your opinion about testimonial versus case studies? I think on your website you have something called success stories, which I'm assuming are more like case studies.
Yeah.
So, what's your opinion on case studies versus testimonials?
I think like the word, I think for words, they're interchangeable. Success stories, I think, is more appropriate for a marketing company, where you could use success stories in your case. You could use case studies. I think testimonials is just straightforward. Everyone knows what it means. And if you want to be clear, not catchy, just use testimonials. But then when you actually get to those pages, I think some of the things that help it stand out, like maybe I will point out Matt's website, Cyberstreams. I think we put it reviews there. I think reviews is also a really strong one. And that's something other people know. These guys have gone all out. They've recorded them. So this is a conversation between Dave and Eric. And I think when people see the relationship, when people can actually see both sides having a great conversation and how happy they are with it, people are going to be like, wow, I never had a relationship like that with my IT company. I want to work with these guys. And then, putting in, I think we've got more to add on this page because they've got about 56 Google reviews. So I think the other thing you can add in is kind of like putting in that Google logo, like I showed you on BlueNet, where it actually said like, hey, here is the review. So in terms of terminal, that's not their website. Hold on. BlueNet Inc., I think. Showing the Google next to it, I think that gives you like third-party verification. And then I think the words reviews or testimonials is the most effective for MSPs. And I would just stick with that. And then case studies you could use it as well. But I think video and just basically, I think the effect you want is overwhelming with a lot of them. So if you've seen on my site, like my strategy was, I'm going to get as many as possible so that people are like, oh my gosh, I don't even need to read them, but I just know they've got tons of people with real faces who are willing to go to bat for them. So I want you to basically overwhelm with volume. And I would say, like, if you're thinking of writing a PDF case study and doing like a 3-page case study with all these words and everything, it's probably not going to get read very often. And you'd be better off trying to collect more shorter testimonials from all of your clients.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. We're overtime, but I'm good. I can stay for as long as you guys want. I know that Ty and Tony want the report. Let me hang on and actually try to get a link to that in the chat. Let me stop my share here. And while I'm doing that, if you guys want to think of any final questions, I can definitely still answer those as well.
And I will grab that link as well, and on the follow-up email, I'll add that if you're cool with that, Nate.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I always send a follow-up for everybody. So it is recorded, so I'll share the recording. All additional information. I'll use this, the link. That way, everybody has access to it.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw it into the chat. Oh,
Yeah.
can I?
Yeah,
Can
and I could just grab it. Yeah, you should be able to. If not, you can always send it to me, and I'll add it to the follow-up. If
give me a moment, I'll put it into Google Drive and get a shareable link for it.
Okay, not a problem. So while you do that, I'll start. Want to be respectful of everybody's time, and just close it here real quick. So thank you, Nate, for your participation. That was a lot of information. I usually have like a small piece of paper and I start taking notes. I have 5 now.
Okay.
So this is it's really interesting because last year we started going through this client experience project that we started. It's like, hey, we want to enhance our client experience, and we met with this firm, and the first thing that they said was like, let's start with your your marketing, right? So that's how you're going to bring your clients in, and then like you said earlier, like just going to let's go ahead and bridge that gap. I think that was one of the messages that you provided. And everybody in here should go back and look review their website and ask themselves, how confident are you with the information that you're providing, and that is more than just fantastic content or awesome content. It's how you're going to generate that inbound marketing and be able to generate those appointments moving forward.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm gonna just share one more link. It's a YouTube video I
Yeah.
did a couple weeks ago with Channel Program, and we talked a lot about kind of how you can really produce an amazing customer experience starting with your website. So today we talked about lead generation, but on that training, it was really all about how to start the amazing customer experience. Steve Taylor, he's really into it, so he was like, he was going into it with me for a while. But I recommend you watch that. And to Lisa, what is a realistic? How many leads your website should generate? It does depend on your market size. So if you've got a really small target market, it's going to be less. But I believe if you're just focusing on website lead generation, yeah, I think having between 2 to 4 high quality leads that are like, yeah, I want to have an appointment with you. I want to learn about your services. Having 2 to 4 per month, I think is really solid for a lot of MSPs in a lot of markets.
Great. All right.
This was awesome so much. You guys were a really active group, and I just appreciate you guys popping off mute and just asking questions, because it makes it a lot better as the presenter.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Nate. One of the things that they got my attention is that I didn't hearing how other people say Louisville, because we have one in Kentucky. We have an office over there. We're in Jasper, but we call it Louisville. So it's
I know it's a different pronunciation. It's so funny.
So it's like Louisville,
Yeah.
but that's the one in Colorado. So
That's how you know the difference.
all right, so thank you so much for sharing all your experience, your relationship with the MSPs. Appreciate Matt putting us in contact to bring you in here and share your knowledge and experience with the team. So I will share the video. I will share the link to the report. We're probably gonna look for that Run Seal commercial. I'll add that in there.
Yeah.
Anything else anything else that you wish to share, just send it my way, and I will send that on the summary email to the whole group, so everybody can even review this. And if you found it useful, and you think that somebody in your team might find value on this, share that with them, and then in future webinars, make sure that they join, because that's how we grow this community.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Juan.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thanks,
Have a great
guys.
afternoon. Good to see you.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.